Peace, peace. I am my story. I am my K. It's been a while, but I just wanted to do a really quick live to show you it's not hard. Now, this is my uncle's garden. You know, I come out here, he shows me a little bit here and there. So, I'm able to teach us how to do this, my people. Grand rising to everybody. You see? Now, I got a few plants of my own in another garden. This ain't the only garden, but you know, they start out like that. So when I see something like this point up, sprout up, I already know what time it is. There's some beans right over here. We got some squash. We got some pumpkin, cucumbers. Man, you name it. I've seen some of everything grow in this garden. This garlic is over 30 years old. My granddad, you know, he told me, my uncle, going on 75, told me the story of how he wanted a house. You know, all of this land, this is a lot of this land, not all of it, but it extends really far out, all the way to far out here. So, I mean, we got cherry trees, pear trees, apple trees, all types of apple trees, blueberries, muscadine grapes, plums, strawberries, possibly. Don't quote me on that. Oh, blackberries. This the muscadine grapevine. All you gotta do, everyone, is so simple. A lot of us have just wasted things that we take for granted when we eat. When you eat a fruit or a vegetable, all you gotta do is put it back in the ground. Now, this is what the land's gonna look like when you till it. I'm actually working towards getting a tiller. So it's not that hard, y'all. We can do this anywhere. These are blackberries. That's the muscadine grapes. Have another grapevine. This is the one I've known since I was a little boy. You see this right here? This is where my grandmother, she's 99, y'all. My uncle's going on 75. And I've seen him out here plenty of times on his hands and knees. So there's no excuse. You know, hands and knees, picking out weeds and everything. I'm gonna go over there. You see this clothesline? I remember when my grandma, all of my people, used to come over here, hang our clothes to dry. She's 99 years young. As of March of next year, 100. Now, as you see here, it's a structure so that we got water. That's rainwater, yo. We just use it for our garden. Now, my uncle once taught me, well, he actually told me that another man told him, if you put potatoes in a tire, they'll grow. You know, it's just like if you put it in the ground. So I said, let me see. And on top of that, most people use hay and straw, but the creator told me go with pine needles. Because I just saw it one day. I looked on the ground, saw all these pine needles, and I said to myself, I wonder if this will work. I was given the instruction to go ahead with it. And when you really think about it, when we look at the birds, they make nests, you know? Our people used to weave baskets. How are these birds weaving these nests? That goes through a lot of people's minds. But when you're in tune with nature, you can just do this stuff. So I've got some potatoes right here just because I needed to know. And it's not hard. It's not hard at all. Also, look up what pine needles are good for. Vitamin C. Um, thank you, Dark Man, for that. You know, I feel like giving credit where it's due. You know, a lot of us have our views of various ones, but, you know, if it weren't for dude, I would have never thought to look up, pardon me, pine trees and what they can do for us. I know trees clean up the air. Pine trees, pine needles, pine cones. If you don't know about this stuff, y'all should look into it. Now, here's some more of this area. That's a flower bed. It's another flower bed. We got walnut trees. And my dad's, I have a pecan tree. And like, as you look at this, I'm gonna climb this one day. You see these pine needles. Make sure you do your research because there are some poisonous ones. And I wouldn't want y'all to be foraging or out picking up pine needles. Now you don't want these. You're gonna want these. Oh, I don't want to destroy no habitats. There's some spider webs right here. Absolutely magnificent. But you know, you're gonna want some of these. You're gonna want them fresh. It's just like clovers. 4 and 3 leaf clovers. You can boil them and eat that. Did you know dandelions? They're also good for you. All this stuff we take for granted in our own backyard. So we can do this. But look up pine needles. Boil it for tea. There's some natural remedies. There's a plethora of things. I don't even know where I would begin. But I want to get this restored so we can have well water. You know, get well. Keep everybody well. And as you see the magnificent beauty of this place, this is just one of the places where my people live. This walnut tree over here. And that's pretty much the tour. But yeah, we putting in work. Like I said, if you don't have a tiller, you can start out with a shovel. It's not that hard. Just make sure the land, see it like pie crust. You want it to be, you know, you want it to have that nice flaky crumble to it. That's how I look at it. You just don't want it to be wet, like dough, or it's not gonna work. Then all you gotta do is plant fresh onions. You can plant cabbage. You can literally go to the grocery store, buy a whole head of cabbage, put it in the ground. Just make sure you take care of it. You can do that with just about any fruit and vegetable. Look it up first so you know how to do it properly. But garlic was one of the first things I learned to grow, so it's as simple as taking a whole bulb, breaking it off into cloves, and then the only thing you're gonna have to do is plant it, like so. So if I had a whole bulb right now, take a clove, I break it, I plant one, and I go in this circle motion, 2, 3, 4. You know, I planted it clockwise. You can plant it counterclockwise, but you know, make a little hole area, just dig that out. And this is the thing about when you're you want to know how deep to plant the seeds and everything. It depends. Where this is, you know, some seeds only need to be, you only need to push that far into the ground. Others, up to your wrist. And then in the case of trees, sorry, Gemini mind. Plus you gotta be always alert, watching. One of the old sayings that my grandmother says, watch every crow now. So it's right. I mean, if all of this was water surrounding me, this would be an island. I'm not sure if I mentioned peach trees, but we got those. And some stuff I honestly don't fully remember. Oh, cherry trees. Got some cherry trees too. You see how far this goes? I have a vision. And I know we can do this. We gotta learn how to eat in. We gotta stop going out to eat. You know? The garden to eat in. I'm not the first Aborigine to say that, but I was thinking it. And if I showed y'all what was on my computer, the list of things I have in my mind, I'm not very well versed in articulating many things. So I just study a little bit of the laws. I study a little bit of gardening, a little bit of mechanic work. I'm a former martial artist, former massage therapist. Used to do videography. I used to rap. I used to act. I used to model. Like, we can do this. Did a little audio engineering. So anything I can offer, I'm ready. And I also study, what was it? What was the 5 things that one of my cousins said we need to have? Food, medicine, how to build shelter. My dad knows how to do that, so I'm gonna make sure to learn that from him. My people are in their 60s, 70s and up, you know. I'm a young little gent. I ain't even made it out my 20s yet. I'm almost there next year. Well, technically, if it just depends on the calendar. You know, never mind about that, because I don't really focus on age when it comes to my flesh. I just know who not to mess with and stuff like that. That's a whole nother tangent. I feel like there's something else I should be sharing with y'all, but yeah, guys, it's magnificent. Just come out here and listen to the birds. Look at the bees and the trees. And there's just so many different things you can grow. Honeydew melon, cantaloupe, watermelon, you name it. All you gotta do is be sure to water it properly. Blueberries. Again, take a shovel, get you a tiller, or if you know another way, go for it. All I know is I'm ready to put my skills to use. Food, medicine, shelter, clothing, automotive services. As long as you know how to do that, you good. That's what he told me. You'll never have to worry about anything. Think about it. You know how to make this stuff. If it's got a seed, it's something you need. Just plant it in the ground. The deepest you'll go is with your elbow. And that's for some of the trees, you know, about 18 inches into the ground. That's how far you'll dig. 7 plus 8 equals 9. Peace as well as love. Grand rising. As above, so low. Let's bring heaven on earth. State of peace, clarity of mind. We want to be in heaven, right? All right. There's so much beauty out here. So easy to get distracted. Real easy. I'm just playing around on my phone. But I love y'all. I'm out. Much love. Again, shovel or a tiller. Put the seed in the ground. It's easy. We can do this. Let's not complicate it.